So today's class is going to be a little bit more on the yoga side rather than Pilates. I'll still include a lot of functional movement and it'll be a nice little stretch and hopefully come a little bit more in tune with the breathing. We're going to start today in child's pose. If child's pose does not agree with your knees, really common, all you need to do is place a cushion between your sit bones and your heels. Once you've done that, if that's the modification you need to take, you're going to bring your hands to your mat and just walk them gently out in front of you. Allow your chest to rest comfortably down towards the mat, forehead meets the mat. And just begin to notice your breath. So as you inhale, the sides of your body widen. And as you exhale, maybe the heels sink a little deeper, sit bones sit a little further back, chest melts down towards the floor. See if you can allow your ribcage to expand out to the sides as you breathe in. And notice how everything draws to center as you breathe out. Keeping the same awareness to your breath, I want you to walk both hands over to the left side. See if you can reach your right hand even further than your left, and then stretch your right sit bone that little bit further back. Hold and breathe here. Slowly, slowly come back through center. Walk hands over to the right. And again, maybe sinking your left heel, sit bone back towards the heel that little bit more. Reach those left fingertips a little further. Keep breathing. And then slowly, slowly walk your hands back to center. Bring your shoulders forward, your knees stack over your hips. Bring your left hand directly in front of your nose. Reach your right arm out and up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, right arm reaches underneath your left arm. Left elbow bends and maybe you rest your right shoulder and right cheek down onto the mat. You can stay here or reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. You can stay here. Or you can bend the left elbow and reach for your right hip or right thigh. Looking up towards the ceiling, hold and breathe. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Left hand lowers down to the floor. Reach your right arm all the way out, all the way up. And then right hand plants down where the left hand's been. From here, left arm reaches out and up. Deep breath in. Exhale, left arm reaches underneath right elbow bends. You can stay here, or you can float your right arm up towards the ceiling. Maybe staying here or bending the elbow and holding on to either right thigh or right hip. Sorry, left thigh or left hip. Breathing nice and deep. Slowly, slowly release it the way you came into it. So stretch the arm up, plant the hand down. Left arm reaches out and up. Left hand lowers down. Place your hands so that they're directly underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips, and we'll come into cat-cow. As you exhale, you're tucking your tailbone under, rounding your spine. And as you inhale, chest forward and up through the arms. Exhale, tailbone tucks under, spine rounds. Inhale, tailbone ceiling. Chest forward and up, and then see if you can find a midpoint. Extend your right leg back behind you. Keep the right knee pointing down towards the floor. Left arm reaches out ahead of you. Hold and breathe here for 5. Keep the back of the head in line with the spine for 4. Last 3, belly button hugs in for 2. And on 1, keep your right leg lifted. Lower your left hand down. Bend your right knee, send your right knee out to the right side and see if you can bring it towards your right elbow and then send it back to where that started. Bring it out and up and back towards where it started. Try not to completely drop into that left side. We'll go for 3, for 2, and 1. Plant the right knee down. From here, deep breath in. And as you exhale, left leg reaches back, left heel reaches behind you. So if you're kicking against a wall, right arm reaches forward. You're pushing away from the floor with that left arm. Belly button, spine, keep your left hip squared. So again, knee pointing down towards the floor. Hold and breathe, back the head in line with the spine. And then lowering right hand down, bending left knee. Left knee comes out to the left, it comes up towards left elbow, left shoulder even, if you're there. And we'll do a few of these. 2 to go. You hear clicks, that's just my hips. Last one. Drop your left knee down. Once your left knee is down, you're going to tuck your toes under. Slowly, slowly. Lift your bum up towards the ceiling, chest towards your thighs, and find your first downward dog. Begin to pedal out the feet. So one knee bends, one leg lengthens. Maybe you're sinking the heel to the floor. Maybe you're not there yet, that's absolutely fine. Downward dog is actually really hard in itself. A little trick here to avoid overextending through the elbows is to really put pressure into your pointing finger, I think it's called an index finger, and your thumb. Find a moment of stillness, take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, float your left leg up towards the ceiling. Left knee bends in towards your nose. And I want you to see, can you stand your left foot down between your hands? You might need to use your hands to get you there, and that's absolutely fine. We're going to lower our right knee down onto the mat. Keeping both fingertips on the mat, as you exhale, you're going to lengthen through your left leg. And as you inhale, you'll bend. The toes are going to lift as you reach back, and they'll lower as you reach forward. You can, of course, walk your hands back with you if you prefer. So these are some of the stretches if you're looking to get into splits, you need to be doing. If you're looking to lengthen your hamstrings, you need to be doing. And it's so normal for that left leg not to straighten, so don't worry too much about it, as long as you're feeling it. The next time you come forward into that low lunge position, you're going to inhale to float both arms up. Chest is up, crescent lunge. You're lengthening your right hip flexor. You can drop slightly into the hips. Don't tell the Pilates people. Hold and breathe. From here, you're going to reach your right arm forward, your left arm back, rotate towards the front leg, and then slowly, slowly drop your right hand down, reach your left arm up, you're looking towards it. And here's a really nice place to stay, but if you want to go further, you can bend your right knee, bringing your right heel in towards your sit bone, left hand holds right foot. And you're holding breathing. My right leg's starting to cramp. This is like my 12th take on the video, that's why. And then slowly, slowly release. Plant the left hand down and tuck your right toes under. See if you can lift your hips as you step your left leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Lower it down, downward dog. And then again, pedal out those feet. Find stillness. Float your right leg up towards the ceiling. Right knee bends in towards your nose, and you're standing your right foot down onto your mat. And then you're going to lower your left knee down onto your mat. From here, hands are going to stay on the mat, and as you exhale, you'll straighten through the right leg, and you'll inhale to bend. Exhale to lengthen through. Inhale to bend. And again, hands can be walking back, the toes lift, the toes lower. And the next time that right knee bends, you're going to keep it bent. Inhale, arms float forward and up, chest lifts forward and up. Drop a little deeper into those hips, lengthen that left hip flexor. And then as you exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Deep breath in. Exhale, drop the left hand down, reach the right arm up. Push away from the floor with that left hand.
And you can stay as you are, or you can bend into your left knee. Right hand is going to come back to that left foot. And it's almost like the foot kicks into the hand and the hand pulls the foot to the glute or towards the sit bone. And you're holding breathing, looking over that right shoulder. And then slowly, slowly we'll release it. Both hands down. Tuck your left toes under. Remember, we're trying to reach the leg all the way up, finding three-legged dog. And then we're going to stand our right foot down. And slowly, slowly begin to walk our hands back towards our toes. Bend the knee if you need to. Here's your forward fold. Chest is melting towards your thighs. If you struggle to touch your toes, a couple of tips that work for me. Shift your weight forward into the ball of the foot and use the head as a weight. So crown of the head drops heavy. You're looking towards your thighs or your belly button. And that way you get that little bit more leg. But there's absolutely no problem. You get just as many benefits having that little bend in the knee. Deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to slowly, slowly roll all the way up. Shoulders will roll up and back. On your next breath out, so you're going to step your left foot as far forward on the mat as you can. Turn your right toes to the right side of the mat. Left arm reaches forward, right arm back. Warrior two. Try to keep your shoulders stacked on top of your hips. And then from here, nice deep breath in as you exhale, straighten through the left leg. Send your right hip slightly back. Left fingertips reach forward and down. You can rest them on your shin, your thigh, just make sure they're not on your knee. They can rest on the floor if you've got the space. And it's almost like you're trying to twist your right rib cage up towards the ceiling. We'll hold and breathe here. And then we'll slowly, slowly bring it up. Bend your left knee back to your warrior two. Flip the left palm to face up towards the ceiling. Slide your right fingertips back your right leg. Left arm reaches up and over. Hug your belly button back towards your spine. And you can stay here, or right hand can come behind the back and rest onto your left thigh. Keep that pull back of the belly button, hold and breathe. Left knee stays bent. And then slowly, slowly reach your arms out wide. Left forearm onto left thigh, right arm stretches up and over. Side angle. And really push down into that forearm to lift away from the thigh. Open back to warrior two. Straighten up through the left leg. Turn your left toes to point forward, same direction as right. Bring your hands to your hips. Stand up as tall as you can. Push down into the baby toe side of the foot. You can edge your feet a little further apart if you've got the space. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to hinge forward. Maybe your fingertips touch the floor. Maybe crown of head meets the floor. And you're just going to hold it here. And again, use your head as a weight. Your head is heavy, no offense. And then you can stay as you are, or you can start to walk your hands over towards your left foot. A few breaths here, opening up through right side body. And then slowly, slowly back through center, over to the right. And then slowly, slowly back to center. Bring your hands to your hips and take your time coming all the way up. This is why I want to have my back towards you for this one. So you're going to clasp your hands behind your back. Pull your knuckles down towards the floor, open your chest. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, hinging forward, the arms, the knuckles float up towards the ceiling. Try to keep that clasp and you should get a gorgeous stretch across the chest. And then slowly, slowly bring it all the way up. Once you're all the way up, you're going to turn your right toes to the right, reach your arms out wide, bend right knee, warrior two. From your warrior two, exhale to straighten through the right leg. Reach right fingertips forward. Drop the right hand down to either your shin, thigh even. Just make sure it's not on the knee. You're looking up towards that fingertips. You're holding breathing. And then slowly bring it back up. Bending right knee, we'll reverse the warrior. So left hand reaches back, left leg, right arm up and over. You can stay as you are where you are, belly button back. Left hand can come to right thigh or right hip. Right knee stays opening towards baby toe side of the foot. Reach your arms out wide, right forearm down, left arm stretches over. And then slowly, slowly bringing it back up, straightening both legs, turn both toes to point in the same direction, both pointing towards the long end of the mat. I'm going to turn around to face you guys. And from here, you can bring your hands into prayer. If you really push palm into palm, you're going to open out across the chest, across the collarbones. Toes are slightly turned out. You're going to bend into your left knee, lengthen, bend into your right knee, and lengthen. You can keep going here, or hands can come down to the mat to go that little bit deeper. And you can allow the body to move from side to side to sink a little further into hips. And we'll just go for 4 more here, finding our breath. And then find center, 2 straight legs, hands to your hips. You're going to come all the way up. Turn both toes in the same direction towards the kind of narrow end of the mat and step forward. Once you step forward, we're going to come into a balancing posture, so you can stay exactly as you are. I'm going to turn to face you. You're going to stand down into your left foot, really heavy into your left foot, lift up onto right tippy toes. The right sole of the foot can come against your right calf. If you want to go further, right sole of the foot can come up against your left inner thigh. Just make sure that right foot is not on your knee. And then from here, hands can come to prayer, or arms can reach up. Let's hold, let's breathe. And then slowly, slowly, you're going to bring your right knee out ahead of you. Lengthen your right leg out, heel away from you, hold and breathe. And then stand that right from down, allow your arms to relax. Give the legs a little shake out if you need to. And then we'll lift onto left tippy toe, sole of the foot against the calf, or maybe bringing it all the way up to inner thigh. This is my wobbly leg. Just make sure you're not on your knee, because it's not good pressure to have on the inside of the knee. Hands can come to prayer, arms reach up. Good. And then you're going to bring your left knee out in front of you. Lengthen your left leg. There's always one leg that's way harder than the other. Hold and breathe. And then you can stand that left foot down, allow your arms to relax down. You're still standing in front of your mat. You're going to step your feet so that they're as wide as the front of your mat. And we're going to come into Malasana, so this is just like a yogi squat. Hands prayer or knuckle to palm. You're going to bend your knees out wide, lower down. And then from here, use your elbows to shift your knees a little further apart. Bring your chest forward and up. Hold and breathe. And then slowly, slowly, see if you can bring your fingertips behind your back and sit back. From here, you're going to bring your hands to either your shins or your thighs. Feet can be roughly hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. I wouldn't go narrower for this one. And then from here, I want you to bring your chest forward and up as you breathe in. And as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under and lengthen your lower back. Inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, rolling back. Inhale, chest forward and up. Exhale, rounding back. One more. Well, you can do as many as you like, but feel pretty good. The next time you round back, you're going to round all the way back, massaging each vertebrae onto the mat. And then just rest your hands down by your sides. Palms of the hands face down. Let's walk our feet a little closer towards our sit bones so that we can nearly reach our heels with our fingertips. And from here, find what you would consider to be your neutral pelvis. So it's basically just your resting pelvis when you relax down. As you exhale, roll your hips towards you so you've now got a flat back onto the mat. Keep your knees parallel as if you're squeezing a block or a ball between your knees, and start to lift the back of your pelvis up and off the mat. Start to float up vertebrae by vertebrae into bridge. Gaze up towards the ceiling. I like to keep the chin parallel to the floor. I just think it makes more sense. Take a deep breath in at the top. And as you exhale, slowly peel down. Pelvis meets. Inhale to float your arms up over chest. Same again, roll your hips towards you, rise up. So there's actually a good bit of lower abdominals activating here to lengthen out your lower back. And then we'll roll down. And then from here, you're going to reach your arms back behind you. Maybe the knuckles meet the floor, maybe they don't. Roll your hips towards you, rise up. Allow the back of the shoulder blades to really widen and meet the mat. Deep breath in. Exhale, roll all the way down. From here, you're going to hug your left knee in towards your left armpit, right knee in towards your right armpit. Your hands can come to your knees, and you're sinking your knees down towards your armpits, soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. You're going to hold on to the outside of the feet or the shins. This is called your happy baby. If you can, you're tilting your hips away from you, and you can just take a gentle rock from side to side. And then slowly, you're going to bring your knees together, plant your feet onto the floor, allow your arms to fall out wide, deep breath in, and as you exhale, knees will fall to the left, head will turn to the right. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale to switch sides. Come back to center. Lengthen both legs out long, allow them to be almost the width of your mat. Your arms can stay out wide if that feels good. This is your Shavasana, your corpse pose, my favourite. You can of course bring your hands to your ribs to get a little bit more feedback on your breath. And really just try to allow the rib cage to expand as you breathe in. Feel the back of your body meet that mat that little bit more. And as you breathe out, just allow everything to melt that little bit deeper. You can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like. You can take a nap, you can put the TV on. And that's you all done. Great work, well done.